Deep philosophy, philosophy from our inner depth. Hello, Karin.
Hi, Ran.
You are an active member of the Deep Philosophy group. You organize activities, and you're also a facilitator. One of the philosophers that intrigued you, that you found very interesting, was Iris Murdoch. Murdoch was an Irish and English philosopher, and she is also known for her novels. She wrote many novels about human relationships. And in her philosophical work, she is interested especially in ethics or morality. In other words, what makes our behavior ethical or unethical? What does it mean to behave ethically or to be a good person? And the specific text that you found interesting that you want to talk about today is called The Idea of Perfection. And she suggests, among other things, that in order to really understand human life, and in order to be a good, moral person, you have to have this special state of mind, this special kind of sensitivity and openness that she calls attention. And then you can start to understand the complexity and the richness of human motivations and be both a better, a more ethical person and also be able to assess ethical behavior. Now, I wonder, Karin, what was it in this text that you found especially personally meaningful?
I would say something very special in Murdoch is that she embraces us human beings and the real life. And here one realizes really Murdoch's general attitude and her human experiences. She so well illustrates also in her own novels, namely the way we encounter moral situations in real life, in my life, and that this is an attention that grows little by little. And this is what an ethical decision in the end makes. And this is what I find really meaningful in this text, her approach.
So ethical behavior, it's rather something complex that develops over time, and to really understand it, we need a special kind of sensitivity. Now, do you find in the text some sentence that touches you especially, that you find especially interesting?
Yes, there is a little paragraph where she exactly quotes Simone Weil, and she says, "I have used the word attention, which I borrow from Simone Weil, to express the idea of a just and loving gaze, directed upon an individual reality. I believe this to be characteristic and proper mark of the active moral agent." And this, in the end, shows her personal approach to moral action, this attentiveness to life, this attention, and that you should have a special state of mind, which she calls exactly after Simone Weil attention.
That's very interesting, that when we are really attentive in this kind of sensitivity to the complexity and richness of the other person, often we don't have to make decisions. The decisions just come out of us. Our moral behavior come out of us. When you think about the notion of attention, which, as you said, she borrows from the French philosopher Simone Weil, when you think about it, does it resonate with you in everyday life?
Yes, it does. It definitely does. And here I have to say that, I mean, I know Murdoch's novels as well, and she's a perfectly intense observer of human reality, of their weaknesses, which reflect also in her philosophical text. And attention, this borrowed expression, she brings to perfection. And I experienced in my life, I still do, being in contact with so many different varied people and characters, and also their peculiarities, that exactly being attentive to the little moments and situations and human weaknesses, in short, to embrace them rather than rejecting them or imposing on them, that this attitude enriches not only the other, but also myself. And that way I can find humanly meaningfulness also in ordinary business life. So attention has a comprehensive meaning. It's just a wonderful word.
Yeah. She uses the word attention in the sentence that you quoted. It's a kind of just, in other words, fair and loving gaze. A just, a fair and an objective, a fair and loving gaze. Is this something easy, you think, to reach? Is it something that we need to work a lot in order to develop in us?
I believe that once we start to be more attentive on people, on situations, and also on these little moments, then we develop also this loving gaze, which is really a wonderful expression, to have an open eye and an open mind. And this is a perspective that, first of all, is that, if you allow me to say this, the one of a lover, to say so, to see things the way they are, receptive, approachable. And this is, in the end, what makes a morally acting person in an ethical way.
Yeah.
And so this attitude of attention, this loving gaze, this is important in life, really meaningful in life in general.
It strikes me how important it is, because in everyday life we are often so quick to judge and to say yes, no, good, bad. And in this sense, Murdoch tells us, wait a minute, open yourself, try to feel the entire reality of the other person before you quickly judge. So this is a meaningful then idea. And thank you, Karin, for this wonderful gem that you brought from Iris Murdoch. Thank you.
Thank you, Ran, for this wonderful interview. Bye.